We live with it. First time doing my mock draft on live ever doing my mock draft. And because last year I had a video, but it didn't go. It somehow got deleted or something like that. Don't know what, but got a big one going on right now. Alright. So today I will be doing my first round. Tomorrow I'll be doing my second and third round mock draft. So today we'll get the first round knocked out, and then tomorrow we will get the second and third done. And then Thursday we already know we gonna be live for the biggest one of my life, the biggest show of my life. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, join the KBM Sports Talk family, and let's get into it. We got the Carolina Panthers who traded up with the Chicago Bears to get the number one pick, and obviously the rumor going around, there's a thing going around, like some random dude on Reddit said that Will Levis will be the number one pick, will go to the Panthers. I don't believe that. I think that's just a smokescreen for the Panthers. I think it's going to be Bryce Young, because Bryce Young canceled all the rest of his official visits or meetings, whatever you call them, with other teams after the Carolina visit. So I'm thinking that that's who it's going to be. I think Bryce Young is going to go to the Carolina Panthers with the first overall pick. Then we go to the Texans. This is a pick that a lot of people aren't talking about. In my opinion, it's going to be CJ Stroud or Will Anderson. I'm saying Will Anderson, but I'll give you the reason why I'm saying Will Anderson. Because CJ Stroud, he scored an 18 on his cognitive test, which honestly doesn't mean anything, but no quarterback has been a good quarterback that has scored a low grade on that. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a test. It doesn't show you the play on the field. So he could prove that totally wrong. But I think that's just, like I said earlier about the Will Levis with the number one pick. I think that's a smokescreen. I think that it's going to be, I think there's something more going on behind the scenes with CJ Stroud than they're talking about. I think that there is something going on with CJ Stroud that no one's really talking about, because how is he projected to be a number one pick, battling with Bryce Young and this and that, and then out of nowhere, his stock is plummeting. Like, he's not gonna fall out of the top 10, I don't think. But from what I saw a tweet yesterday, executives have said that they're labeling CJ Stroud as a bust, which doesn't mean anything. But to me, that is a big red flag, and I don't see the Texans going with CJ Stroud. I think they go with Will Anderson to get their next JJ Watt, to get their Micah Parsons, per se, on defense, to get Nick Bosa to get their defense set. Yes, I know their number one thing is a quarterback, but remember, they have the 12th pick. So they could go and get, if Will Levis is still there, if Anthony Richardson's still there, if Hendon Hooker's still there. Yes, I said Hendon Hooker, Tennessee quarterback. People aren't talking about him. He is one that people got to talk about. But I believe that, what's good, Brody? I think it's going to be Will Anderson going number 2. Oh, let me make myself smaller. Let me go like this and move myself up here so you guys can see the screen. Let me just see what that looks like. I'm just doing my mock draft, my first round mock draft, and I will be live tomorrow night for my second and third round, and then Thursday I will be live for the NFL draft. It's my biggest stream, so make sure you guys tune into that. But then we got with the Arizona Cardinals. Now this is where things could get. Teams could trade up. We could see the Titans trade up, the Falcons trade up, the Raiders trade up, maybe the Packers trade up. There's a lot of things that could, teams that want to move up to that third pick. The Cardinals could trade out, but I couldn't pinpoint which team is that is going to be to trade up. So it could be Jalen Carter. I don't think it's going to be Jalen Carter. I think it's going to be someone that most people aren't talking about. He is all the way down here. Yes, I know he's a 28th ranked. I think it's going to be Tyree Wilson, edge rusher from Texas Tech. The reason why I think it's going to be Tyree Wilson is because he has a lot of hype coming with him. He's 6'6", I believe it is. His arms are basically, he puts his arms down. His arms basically go down to his knees almost, it seems like. He is a freak athlete, but his only thing is his upside is probably one of the arguably the best in this draft, they're saying. The experts and the scouts are saying. In my opinion, in 2 to 3 years, he's going to be a great player. And I think the Cardinals are going to draft Tyree Wilson with the 3rd overall pick. And now we go to the Colts. Colts are going to draft the quarterback. But which quarterback will they draft? Yes, it could be C.J. Stroud. But I don't see C.J. Stroud fitting into that scheme. I don't see C.J. Stroud fitting in with the Colts scheme. I see Will Levis fitting into the Colts scheme. I really see Will Levis. Yes, I know you're going to pass up on C.J. Stroud. In my opinion, yes. I think Will Levis fits more of the Colts' typical quarterback than C.J. Stroud. I know most people don't agree with that, but I really see that. I see Will Levis going to the Colts. I see Will Levis fitting more with the Colts than any other team. Just because that he seems like a Colt quarterback. He doesn't seem like a Raider quarterback. He doesn't seem like a Falcon quarterback. He seems like a Colt quarterback. That is my opinion. I see him going to the Colts. I know most people don't agree with that and this and that. They're saying, oh, you can't pass on C.J. Stroud. Well, I just did. And with that, we had the 5th pick, the Seattle Seahawks. This is a surprising pick. But I feel like the Seahawks cannot pass up on this player. I think it's going to be Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida. Put him behind Geno Smith, a good veteran quarterback who is going to help Anthony Richardson a lot. I say you put him behind Geno Smith for 2 years, and you're going to see Anthony Richardson become a star in the NFL. He's going to reach that peak that all the scouts are talking about, and I think the Seahawks can't pass up on him and wait to the 20th pick because I don't think he's going to be there the 20th pick. Yes, maybe Hendon Hooker will be there, but I promise you that Anthony Richardson will not be there. That is why I'm saying, yes, they have Geno Smith, but I just don't see the Seahawks passing up on Anthony Richardson. Then we got the Detroit Lions. It could be between Jalen Carter, Devon Witherspoon, or Christian Gonzalez. In my opinion, I think Jalen Carter, if the Lions get the opportunity to draft Jalen Carter, it is the best move best team that Jalen Carter could want to go to. Except for the Seahawks, probably. I think that Jalen Carter going into that culture that the Lions have with Dan Campbell, that whole office, that whole front office is a great culture. They built a beautiful culture, and that will help him with all that off the field stuff, which shouldn't matter because it's the play on the field. But his pro day didn't help him out at all. Put on so much weight. They're saying he's gonna eat himself out of football. I think if the Lions draft him, it's going to help him a lot more than people are thinking because that culture, I think, once he gets Dan Campbell, gets him, Dan Campbell's going to help him out a lot. I think that's why I'm saying that Jalen Carter will go to the Lions. Then we have the Raiders. What will the Raiders do? What will the Raiders do? I think that the Raiders here go with C.J. Stroud. He falls perfectly into the Raiders' lap. Raiders go and get their quarterback in C.J. Stroud. Then we have the Falcons. Do they go with the quarterback? Do they go to quarterback? There isn't any quarterbacks left. Yes, there's Hendon Hooker, but I don't see the Falcons going to get Hendon Hooker. I honestly see them going with Nolan Smith out of Georgia. He had a great combine. They say he was the leader on both back-to-back national championships at Georgia on that defense. That's amazing defense that won Georgia 2 back-to-back national championships. I think Nolan Smith goes to the Falcons, and I think that's a great pickup for the Falcons. And now we go to the Bears. Bears need to get protection for Justin Fields. I almost said Justin Hurts. And then I said Jalen Hurts. Pick up protection. You go with Peter Skoronski. I already said his name. I say his name right, and then when I get on live, I can't say his name right. I think that's a great pickup for them. And now we go to the Eagles. This is a pick that most people everyone's predicting it. Yes, I know that the Eagles don't draft running backs first round. They could go with Jackson Smith and Jigba here. They could go with that. But I see them going with Bijan Robinson. As a Cowboys fan, I hate saying that, but I just see it. There's so many things, so many reports, so many mock drafts saying that he's going to go there. I could see them going to get a secondary. I could see them going to get Jackson Smith and Jigba. But I think this is also a little thing just to screw over the Cowboys because they know the Cowboys need a running back. So I say they go and get Bijan Robinson with the 10th pick. Or if not, you could see Bijan Robinson maybe go to the Lions with the Lions' next pick. The Lions have I forgot what pick it was, the 18th? Yep, maybe he goes to the Lions at 18. And then we have the Titans. Do they go with Jackson Smith and Jigba? Do they go with the wide receiver here? I don't really think so. I think they're going to go with Paris Johnson Jr. Get a tackle. Get that O-line because you did get rid of Taylor Lewan. I think that's a perfect pickup for them. Go and get another O-lineman. I think that's a great pickup. Then we have the Texans who are back on the clock. What do they go with here? Do they go with Jackson Smith and Jigba? They got Will Anderson. Do they go and get their quarterback now? Me? This is going to be a surprise pick for some people. And I don't, it's probably not going to happen, but I really want to see it happen. I see the Texans going with Hendon Hooker with the 12th pick. I know that's a far reach, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's a great pickup because Hendon Hooker, everyone was talking about he's going to be the top 5 pick. He was going to be one of the first quarterbacks off the board. Well, I think he is going to be one of the first quarterbacks off the board. Now, all the quarterbacks are gone in the first round, and the Texans just put the Packers in a hard position where the Packers may trade up now. They could trade up. That's the question. That's not what you're going to see. But now we go to this. Do the Packers go with a wide receiver or a tight end here? Do they go with Dalton Kincaid or do they go with Jackson Smith and Jigba? Those are the two players that I've had my eyes on for the Packers. Is Jackson Smith and Jigba or Dalton Kincaid for the Packers? I mean, they could go with maybe Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison, but I don't see Jordan Addison going to the Packers. I think the Packers are going to go with either Utah or Ohio State because it's a cold weather team. I know that doesn't really matter in the NFL, but some scouts do put that in there. Some teams do that. And the Packers, not really. But that's just me. I'm going to say, me personally, I think that they're going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Get that wide receiver. Yes, he has injury concerns, but I think the Packers finally draft a wide receiver in the first round after they ship out Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, Packers fans. Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet. Who the hell would have thought that he's fallen in Brett Favre's footsteps? Most people aren't talking about that, though. Yeah, talk about that. Now we have the Patriots. This is the most confusingest pick that I could make. Patriots could trade out because it's Bill Belichick. Who the hell knows what they're going to do? Patriots could go with so many options. They could go with the tackle. But this is one that I haven't seen a lot, but I'm seeing this. I just think that Myles Murphy from Clemson is going to go 14th to the New England Patriots. It's a pick that most people aren't talking about. Or I could see them maybe going Kalijah Cansey. But I'll get into Kalijah Cansey later because I do know where I'm going to have him go. But I have Myles Murphy going to the Patriots with the number 14th pick. And now we have the Jets. Jets are going to go with offensive linemen straight out here. But what offensive lineman will they go with? Will they go with Broderick Jones or Darnell Wright? I think they can't pass him on Broderick Jones. I think Broderick Jones goes to the Jets. I think that's a great pickup. Get some more protection. Beef up that offensive line. We already have Becton and I forgot who else they had. I forgot. My brain's not working right now. I forgot. But let's go to the Washington Commanders. Devon Witherspoon is still there on the board. It's a no-brainer for the Commanders. They go with Devon Witherspoon. One of the best cornerbacks in this draft. The most ferocious cornerback in this draft. He's the first cornerback taken off the board over Christian Gonzalez. I just think that's a great pickup for them. And now we go to the Steelers. Yes, Christian Gonzalez is still on the board, but I just think that the Steelers are going to go with the cornerback. But I think they go with Joey Porter Jr. His father played for the Steelers. It's just meant to be, I think. I think the Steelers are meant to go and get Joey Porter. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's really what we got to see. But now let's go to the Lions. Let's see what the Lions are going to do here. They went up and got Jalen Carter with that 6th pick. Now what do they do? They need a tight end. But they need a wide receiver too. So what do? Do they go and get Zay Flowers? Do they go and get Quentin Johnston? Or do they go get Jordan Addison? What do they do? Well, I don't even think they go and get anything. I think it's between Deonte Banks, cornerback from Maryland, because they did get rid of Jeff Okudah, or Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. Deonte Banks had a great combine. But I think that the Lions aren't going to be able to pass up on Michael Mayer. In my first mock draft that I did by myself, I didn't release, I had Michael Mayer falling all the way to the Cowboys. The one I did last night, I had the Cowboys drafting Michael Mayer with the 26th pick, I think they have. But I think the Lions can't pass up on him. They say, okay, we're not going to get the cornerback yet. We're going to get the cornerback in the 2nd round because we have the 48th pick and the 55th pick. They're going to go and get cornerback in that there. They go and get a tight end that they need. Go and get him. So now the Buccaneers are on the clock. What do the Buccaneers do? Well, I think the Buccaneers go with Dalton Kincaid from Utah here. They need a tight end. They go and get a tight end with Dalton Kincaid. Easy pick right there. Now we have the Seahawks. Seahawks need a guard, a center, and a D lineman. Well, it's not going to be Christian Gonzalez, obviously. I think it's going to be maybe the next Aaron Donald out of Pittsburgh, Kalijah Cansey. Yes, his measurables aren't the best. But they line up just like... Who they line up like? They line up just like Aaron Donald. 6 foot, 281. I'm just telling you guys, I think he is going to be a great player. I think he is going to be the next Aaron Donald. I know that's a reach. That's a huge reach. That's a huge thing to say. But I think you put him under Pete Carroll and get him in that Seahawks defense. Seahawks are known for that amazing defense, what they could do with defensive players. I think he's going to be a new piece to making that Legion of Boom again in Seattle. And now we have the Chargers. Chargers need a wide receiver. Nose on the board, Los Angeles kid. I think they go and get Jordan Addison. But another thing I can tell you guys, with the Steelers may go and get Jordan Addison. I know I didn't talk about this earlier, but Jordan Addison may go to the Steelers to pair him up again with his Pittsburgh quarterback before he went to USC. Go and pair him up again with him. That could happen. That could be a possibility. That really could be. But I think Jordan Addison falls in my mock draft to the Chargers at 21. And now we have the Ravens. Ravens, what do? Well, Christian Gonzalez is still on the board. I think they go, okay, yes, we need a wide receiver. We could get Zay Flowers. But Christian Gonzalez is still on the board. So we're going to go with Christian Gonzalez. We're not going to pat. We're going to go and get a cornerback. In the second round, I see them going with a wide receiver. But now we have the Vikings. What do the Vikings do? They need a wide receiver. I think the Vikings go and get Zay Flowers from Boston College. Think the Vikings go and get Zay Flowers from Boston College. Think that's the move that they make. Then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they stay in Florida and they go with Osiris Torrance from Florida. I think that's where they go. Now we have the Giants. And also with the Jaguars pick. I'm going with the Jaguars, picking with them because I feel like they need to get more of that O-line set, and I feel like that's a great move for them. Now we have the Giants. What do the Giants do? They're right before the Cowboys. So do they look to go and screw over the Cowboys? What do they go and get? They need a safety. They need Brian Branch is on the board. Deontay Banks is still on the board. Now what do? I think, personally, I see Brian Branch going, get the best available, go with Brian Branch, get one of your needs off, you get a safety. Yes, Quentin Johnston's still on the board, but there's something about him that's making me say he's going to fall to the second round. Now we have the Cowboys pick. And I think they could go with Deontay Banks. They could go with the offensive lineman to get more depth in the offensive lineman category. But me, no. I think they go with a running back. The next Alvin Kamara. Without the off-the-field stuff. Jamar Gibbs. I think that the Cowboys go with Jamar Gibbs. I know that's some people are saying that could be a reach. But I can see that happening. We get 2 running backs in the first round. I see the Cowboys going Jamar Gibbs because great duo. The Cowboys are known the last couple of years to have that 1-2 punch at running back. You lose Zeke. You only have Tony Pollard. Now you go and get Tony Pollard, another guy in the backfield. I think that's a great move. And then in the second round, you go and get a linebacker or cornerback and this and that. I think Jeremiah Gibbs would be a great pickup for the Cowboys because he was amazing at Georgia Tech. And then this year, they have a little bit of off year, but not a crazy off year. When you have Alabama, when you have so many weapons, you know what I mean? Now we have the Bills. The Bills, in my opinion, I'm going to go with Deontay Banks. Cornerback, they need a cornerback. He's still on the board. They go with Deontay Banks. Safe pick right there for the Bills. Now we have the Bengals. What do the Bengals do? They need a tight end. They do need a tight end. Well, you guys, I see them going like this. They do need a DB. Emmanuel Forbes is still there. Emmanuel Forbes is still there, you guys. I do got to say that he is. And I know Lucas Van Noy is still here. I do know that. But I see the Bengals going with Darnell Washington, the Georgia Freak, Big O. I see them going with Darnell Washington. He's a freak of nature. He's 6'7", if I remember correctly. 6'6". No, he's 6'7", 270 as a tight end. I don't know about you guys, but I would want that on my team. If I'm Joe Burrow, I want that as a receiver. I want that. Now we have the Saints. Do they go and get a guard? Do they go and get a cornerback? Do they go get D-line? I think they go and get Lucas Van Ness, who's still on the board. They could go with the other Iowa product, but he's from Iowa State. An Iowa product. I think they go with Lucas Van Ness. Hercules, as his nickname was in college. I think they go with him. I don't see him falling out of the first round at all. Now we go to the Eagles. The Eagles already picked up Bijan Robinson from Texas, the running back. Now what do they do here? Do they go and get a wide receiver here? Do they go and get a safety here? Do they go and get a guard here? Well, I think that they go and get a wide receiver here. No, I'm just kidding. I think they go and get Emmanuel Forbes here from Mississippi State. They're not going to let him fall to the second round. I think they go and get a cornerback. I know that's something that they really don't really need, but I see him going there. I know this is a weird pick, but the Eagles have so many options at this pick that they could go with. I just see Emmanuel Forbes. I think it's a safe pick. Go and get a cornerback. They did lose a decent amount. Then we have the Chiefs. What do the Chiefs do? I think they're going to go with edge here. I don't think they go with Quentin Johnston here. They could. That is a big option. But it's between Will McDonald, the fourth. Oh, my voice is cracked there. Or Felix Ozuma. Which one will it be? The last pick in the first round. Who will it be, you guys? Will McDonald or Felix? I'm not going to pronounce that first part of it. Ozuma. In my mock draft yesterday that I did last night, I had Felix going to them. But I just think that Will McDonald, I've heard so much good reports about him. I think that they go with him. And that, you guys, is my first round mock draft. I will be back live tomorrow night to go over my second round mock draft, second and third rounds for the NFL mock draft. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, join the KBM Sports Talk family, and until next time, see ya.